Thank you very much, Bill. Just before I begin, I'm going to pretend that I have a real audience out there, so I'm not going to speak directly into the camera. Okay? I'm afraid I cannot give a speech today. I'm sorry. I apologize. I dropped the ball. My bad, as they would say, but I just cannot give a speech today. If I were to give a speech, I would have to do the three things, write the three things, practice the three things, develop the three parts of a speech that I have trouble with. I just have trouble with all of them. I have trouble with introductions, I have trouble with the body of the speech, and I have trouble with the conclusion. Now, it isn't that I didn't try. I mean, I've been busy. This pandemic thing has kept me at home, but I'm busy at home. I've got lots of house cleaning to do. I have to walk the dog every day. I've got Netflix things that are on my list, some PBS ones that a friend mentioned just last night. I do have other priorities, but I know I promised that Toastmasters would be one of those priorities, so here's why I can't give the speech. I found this book. I know it says essay writing, not speech writing, but I know the guy who wrote the book. Nice guy, well-intentioned fellow, and interestingly, all of the things in this book you could use to write a speech. So I thought, kill two birds with one stone, make him happy, told him I read his book, figure out how to write a speech. Well, in this book, he doesn't even get to it until chapter 6. He says, this is how you write the beginning of a speech. Introductory paragraphs. Well, introduction to a speech, that would work. He lists 7 kinds. How am I going to pick from 7 kinds? I thought, okay, I'll try it. He says, use a quote. Have you ever looked up quotes on the internet? There are a gazillion quotes. Inspirational quotes, humorous quotes, not very nice quotes, long, involved, they blow your mind away quotes. I mean, talk about fall down 7 times, get up 8. I tried. Little Abner apparently said, too much is more than enough. Well, it was too much for me. I just couldn't decide. Give me a coin to flip, it's this one or this one, I'm good to go. Too many choices. So then he says, not only do you have to use these types of introductions, you have to explain the structure of your speech at the same time. You got to do these things together. Well, that's not easy. If I were to suggest that I was giving you problems with introductions, bodies, and conclusions, that would be good. If I were to, that would be the structure. If I had a quote to go along with that, I could, but I didn't have time. So then I thought, okay, that's the introductions. I guess I could deal with the introductions. But then the body. I mean, the body is the main part of the speech. We've only got 5 to 7 minutes. That's not a lot of time. So I looked at the body things. Yeah, does he have body? Sure, he's got body stuff in here. 7 kinds. 7 ways to develop the body of your speech. He uses quotes again. That's kind of like cheating, I think. You can't have a quote in the middle, and I guess you could have a different quote, or you could maybe do that. You could give your opinions in there, or tell about your experiences, like the time that I was in a speech contest and I made it past the club level and I made it past I guess I was at the area level and I spoke for too long. That's what I mean, too much. There's too many rules, too many regulations, and I just don't think that's fair. I think that those of us who come to Toastmasters because we like to talk a lot should be allowed to talk a lot. And so that's another reason I'm not going to give a speech today. I know that I failed. My bad. Dropped the ball. Can't use cliches. I said that as well in here. But, and then probably 3 paragraphs in a normal essay. I guess 3 main ideas in a speech, maybe 2. Maybe talk about the pros and the cons. Maybe talk about your top 3 of something. Maybe talk about the north, south, east, and west, or the past, the present, and the future. That would be a good structure. But you've got to do that, and you have to transition between those ideas. You can't just say point 1, point 2, point 3. You've got to go smoothly from one to the other. I mean, he does list a bunch of transition words, if you could remember what they were. But then you have to conclude. You've got to wrap it all up. Remember those old golden books? Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, 3 Billy Goats Gruff, 3 Little Pigs. Always at the end of the book, at the very, very last page in great big letters, it would say, the end. You knew it was over. But not in a speech. You can't say, hold up a card, the end. You have to bring it to a smooth conclusion. Okay, he lists 5 different kinds of conclusions. And he says things like you could talk about the future. Well, then the speech isn't over. You can ask questions. Well, I guess you want them to be thinking more and more. But I said to myself, nope, that's it. Can't do it. I resign. I just have to, I guess, if there was a ribbon being given out, I wouldn't get a ribbon. So I'm sorry, folks, but I am afraid I cannot give a speech today.